Every night, your brain puts on a personal movie. No budget, no screenwriter, no warning. Sometimes it's a romantic drama, sometimes a horror movie you wake up from in a cold sweat. And sometimes it's just you, standing naked in the middle of the school you graduated from 10 years ago. We all dream every single night. Everyone without exception, even people who swear they never dream, simply don't remember it. But here's the strange part. Science still can't give a single clear answer for why we need this at all. Today we'll dig into what's actually happening inside your head while you sleep, and why scientists who deprived people of dreaming in lab experiments got some pretty unsettling results. Let's start with this. Sleep isn't just your brain switching off. It's an active process with several stages that cycle roughly every 90 minutes. There's deep sleep, a heavy stage where it's hard to wake someone up. This is when the body physically recovers. And there's REM sleep, short for rapid eye movement. The name isn't random. If you watch someone sleeping in this stage, you can see their eyes darting quickly under closed eyelids. And here's where it gets interesting. During REM sleep, the brain becomes almost as active as when you're awake. Heart rate speeds up, breathing gets irregular, body temperature rises slightly. This is exactly the stage where the most vivid, detailed, memorable dreams happen. Over a night, a person cycles through this several times. And REM sleep makes up roughly a quarter of an adult's total sleep time. So if you sleep 8 hours, about 2 of those hours you're technically watching a movie. The most famous theory about dreams belongs to Sigmund Freud. He believed dreams were disguised hidden desires, things our conscious mind isn't ready to accept directly, so the brain encodes them into symbols. That's where the whole dream interpretation culture comes from. Falling in a dream means one thing, flying means another. Sounds compelling, but there's a problem. Modern science doesn't back this up. Researchers haven't found evidence that dreams have some universal symbol dictionary, or that the brain deliberately disguises anything. The chaos and weirdness of dreams has a simpler explanation. It comes down to how the brain works specifically during REM sleep, when some regions are active while others, responsible for logic and critical thinking, are dialed down. That's why it feels perfectly normal in a dream to chat with your late grandfather, who for some reason is working as a cashier at a grocery store. Freud's student, Carl Jung, saw it differently. He believed dreams connect to what he called the collective unconscious, a deep layer of the psyche shared by all people regardless of culture. Also a beautiful theory, but scientifically it's closer to philosophy than proven fact. So what does modern science actually say? There's no single consensus here either, but there are a few working hypotheses, each backed by research. First, processing and sorting information. During the day, the brain takes in a massive amount of data, conversations, emotions, new knowledge. At night, it seems to tidy up all that chaos, locking important things into long-term memory and discarding the rest. So if you learned something new yesterday, good sleep literally helps you remember it. Second, emotional regulation. Dreams help the brain process the day's intense experiences. Stress, anxiety, conflict, a kind of nightly therapy session, minus the therapist. Third, and maybe the most fascinating, threat simulation. There's a hypothesis that dreams are an evolutionary training ground. The brain runs dangerous scenarios in a safe virtual environment so you can react faster and better to real threats in real life. This partly explains why nightmares about being chased or falling are some of the most common dream themes for people all over the world, regardless of culture. And here's something important. It's not just humans who dream. Newborn babies dream, and so do animals. Dogs, cats, even some birds. If you've ever seen a sleeping dog's paws twitching, chances are it's running in its dream. Now, for the creepiest part, scientists ran experiments where they deliberately woke people up the moment REM sleep began. So the person was technically asleep, but not dreaming. The results were unsettling. Within just a few days, subjects became irritable, on edge, and had trouble concentrating. In some cases, they experienced hallucinations while fully awake. In other words, a brain that couldn't play out its dreams at night started doing something similar during the day. Turns out, dreams aren't just some side effect of sleep. They appear to be a necessary process for the mind to function normally, as if the brain physically needs this time to unload, and if it doesn't get it, things start to glitch. So, what's really going on when you close your eyes? Your brain doesn't shut down, it shifts into an editing room. sorting memories, training your emotions, and rehearsing danger just in case it shows up while you're awake. Science still hasn't fully answered the question of why we dream. And honestly, that's kind of great. It means there are still mysteries left to solve. So next time you wake up from a weird dream about an exam you took years ago, remember, your brain is probably just doing what it's done for millions of years, getting you ready for tomorrow. If you found this interesting, hit subscribe. There's a lot more to uncover about how you actually work.